Ciao ragazzi, I'm Danilo and welcome back to another video. You know how people always say Harley Benton guitars are great for the price, but you kinda have to upgrade the electronics and pickups to get the best out of them? Well, what happens then when we are talking about an acoustic guitar? There's no swapping pickups here, the sound is what it is. So I wanted to put one to the test. In today's video I want to see how good a Harley Benton guitar actually is, and I want to compare it directly to a much more expensive model. Let's start by introducing the guitar I chose. This is the Harley Benton Custom Line CLD 41SE WN, and before jumping into how it sounds, let's take a closer look at its specs. Solid spruce top, walnut back and sides, mahogany neck with a comfy C profile, Pau Ferro fretboard, 43mm bone nut, Pau Ferro bridge. It features the Fishman Precise 2 piezo system with a built-in tuner, which is great, and it's got some really fancy looks too. Abalone inlays all around the body, around the sound hole, and on these hexagon fretboard inlays. Price tag, just 399 euros. In case you're wondering, yes, it is made in China, and I think that's how they keep the retail price this low on this guitar, but it doesn't mean it's automatically a bad guitar. On paper it sounds impressive, but let's see it in action. Okay, these were just some really simple open chords, just to hear the first impression of the guitar, and so far so good. But like I said, I really wanted to put it to the test, so we are now going to compare it to this. This is my personal acoustic guitar that I had for the last 6 years or so. I won't mention the brand name, I won't mention the model or anything. All you need to know is that this is almost a $2,000 guitar, so it's way more expensive than the Harley Benton. I have just changed the strings to both guitar. Both are using the same exact guitar strings, which are these Harley Benton 1152. Same microphone placement, no post-production, no nothing. We can always debate on how amplifier, overdrive pedals or modelers can affect the test of two electric guitars, but there's no cheating here. The sound coming out of these guitars is the sound you get, and you get live with that. I'm not going to record the guitars using the internal piezo. You can always change them, these are different piezo systems, so there's no point in doing that. But yeah, that being said, let's hear them. Now that I've recorded a bunch of demos, I went back and forth listening carefully with my headphones to the results, and there are two key aspects to take in consideration: the sound and the feeling. Let's start with the feeling. On this one, you'll have to trust me because it's not something you guys can actually experience through the video. The feeling is great on both guitars. I did not feel the Harley Benton to be cheaper and more difficult to play at all. And that's the thing that impressed me the most so far. Sound-wise instead, you can actually listen to both guitars and let me know in the comments your thoughts. But here's what I noticed. Is there a difference? Yes. Is the most expensive one sounding better? I believe so. Is there a 1600 euros difference? Absolutely not. The more expensive one sounds like it has more frequencies to it, more bass, more mids and more highs, but not by that much. The Harley Benton is well balanced, not too bassy, it's not harsh on the high frequencies. If it wasn't for the fact that I've been doing A-B direct comparison, I wouldn't have noticed a thing. This little guy holds up really well. Is there a difference between these and the more expensive one? Sure, but honestly the gap isn't as big as you'd expect. Like I said, sound aside, a huge part of any guitar is how it feels to play, and this is where the Harley Benton really surprised me. The neck is comfortable, the fretboard is smooth, you cannot feel the fret edges, and the action isn't too high. It plays really well straight out of the box. I haven't done any setup on it, this is exactly how it came, and that's a big deal because usually with budget guitars you have to tweak them a bit to get them to feel right. But not this one. If I were to stop the review here, the verdict is Harley Benton guitars are indeed great instruments, even on acoustic guitars where you can't cheat using expensive amps to make it sound better. This is what you get, and I am super happy about it. But what if I tell you there is actually a super cheap cheat code to improve the tone of this guitar and make it sound even closer to the more expensive one? Let me introduce you to bone pins. The stock bridge pins you get in the bridge of the Harley Bentons are made of plastic, but you can get some made of bones for like 15 euros, swap them in, and that makes a big difference. So let's do that. there it is. The sound opened up a bit, with more clarity and a wider frequency response. It got even closer to the more expensive guitar with a really cheap upgrade. So yeah, even on acoustic guitars, there are little upgrades you can do to tweak the tone, but I wanted to test this guitar completely stock first because that's what you get. At the end of the day, this Harley Benton custom line CLD really impressed me. It sounds way better than expected at this price point, and it even holds up to a much more expensive guitar. If you look close enough to the details, you'll start to see the differences between this and this, but if you're looking for a solid acoustic guitar without breaking the bank that sounds good, feels good, and looks good, definitely this one is worth considering. So, do Harley Benton guitars only work well if you mod them? Nope. This test proves that you can take an acoustic guitar straight out of the box and hear exactly what it has to offer. No electronics or pickups to swap out. And honestly, for just 400 euros, this thing doesn't need any upgrades to be a great guitar. Sure, you can tweak little things, but it's true for any guitar, even high-end ones. Bottom line, this was a really nice surprise. I genuinely thought there was going to be a bigger difference. I underestimated. My bad. Okay, and on that bombshell, that was it for today's video. There's a link down in the description below if you want to check out this guitar for yourself. And I'll catch you in the next one. Ciao!